I've been involved with the RC10 four-wheel drive platform since the beginning, and watching the progress over years, see the four-wheel drive succeed and do better and win world championships. It's pretty exciting, and with his new B84 platform, it's just the next step above.
You know, one of the things about the B84 platform, after seeing it for the first time last year and having the belief and trust into Kyle and Billy regarding the design, the preparation, the vision for that matter, was without a doubt full trust into those guys.
The B84 is built off of the B74, and everything we learned with that platform, it's been out for a while now. So with the release of the B7, we saw that it was time to update our four-wheel drive.
When we were starting development of this car, we started with obviously the B74.2. That's migrated into a platform that's worked really well for us in the 0.2 version. And then we took a lot of what we learned from the B7 as well and integrated that into what we think would work well in a four-wheel drive.
So from the get-go, we set out to have as many interchangeable parts as possible between the two-wheel drive and the four-wheel drive.
There's also a couple, unique things that we haven't been able to do in the past, like the wing mounts. The mounting points are the same between the B7 and the B84, but they're at different heights. So now we have different wing heights that you can use on both platforms, not just one, because of that.
Yeah, having the interchangeability between the B7 and B84 cuts down on a lot of the parts that a racer has to take with them to the track. So having the same rear arms, same hubs, same dog bones, shocks, which, I mean, we've been using the same shocks now on the two cars since the 0.1. But yeah, it really cuts back on the amount of extra parts that a customer has to take to the track. The drivers had their first taste of the B84 at the World's Warm-Up in Australia.
So when we started preparing for the World Championships warm-up, we had a plan of taking the B84 with us, but a soft plan of how we were going to actually use it there. Obviously, the B74.2 has been very good to us, very competitive. The locals there have it dialed in. So we want to take the B84 and just basically see how it compared on a surface that we'd had very limited access to and limited running on. So a few weeks before the event, we met as an engineering team, discussed the different scenarios, and decided to have Spencer Rifkin race the B84 the entire event. So practice with it, race the event, and stay after and do our testing there. We had another car as well that we brought more as a team development car, that we could use the information that we gathered from Spencer's testing to build a replica or test other items that was shared amongst the team. So Spencer ran his car all through practice. Things went pretty well in practice. We were comfortable enough to have Aiden Horn race the other car during the actual event and continue to learn and develop the product throughout the whole event. And then after the race, we had a few of the other team guys use the test car and worked with Kurt really well on continuing to evolve that setup, while Spencer's car kind of remained the baseline along with the B74.2s.
Right away from the first time I hit the track was Q1, and it was like one of my best points or runs of the whole week. So right away it was pretty good to drive, and it wasn't too hard to find a good balance with the car. We worked hard on it throughout the week, and we got it in a pretty good spot by the end. I know Spencer was contending for the win by the end of it. So that just goes to show you that the platform is pretty solid right out of the jump, and super pumped for you guys to be able to get your hands on these things. It has a lot of similar characteristics to the B7 that we are all excited about.
Spencer was on the pace pretty early on, keeping up with Lachlan Donnelly, who, I mean, he runs at that track. I think that's one of his home tracks. So to have the pace and confidence in the car from the start like that was a good sign.
We're all looking for three things in a car: consistency, the car being comfortable, and speed. And I gotta tell you, the car has it all. We're getting the full package. We haven't got a production car yet, so it's always gonna be tough, but I think we delivered a pretty good result with the B84 on its first race.
after driving it for the first time really in Australia, how versatile the car is. Seeing it work on a surface like that right out of the get-go was extremely impressive. We had 2 cars there, which made it kind of a little bit smaller team working together to try to find a baseline, pivot off different adjustments between the 2 cars, and not having that much time on it and being able to do as well as we did shows a statement on the potential that it has.
Yeah, so we have 2 different B84 kits. We have one that's focused on carpet, and then one that's more suited towards high grip clay and medium grip clay. So the main difference being the decoupled slipper comes in the carpet kit, and the center differential comes in the dirt kit. And then besides that, we have optimized setups for each surface as well that come in the box. So from the get-go, it should be pretty good.
So the chassis on this car is actually a tapered design. It's a 2.5 millimeter thick chassis versus the 2 millimeter flat plate design that we had on the B74. This allows for the weight to be lower in the car, as well as a stiffer chassis in general.
You'll notice a lot of similarities between this car and the B7. Like we talked about previously, there's a lot of shared parts between them. So if you look at the back of the car, it actually uses the same rear suspension arms and rear hubs as the B7.
Like, a lot of the geometry does carry over, but with the longer arms, there's going to be some tweaking between what you used to maybe run on the B74 to the B84.
We have a much narrower gearbox design to help with the overall narrow pivots that we've landed on with the B7 platform that we found worked really well in the four-wheel drive as well.
Center bracing on this car is a lot different. It's a lot more simplified than the B74 was. It's all tied into the gearboxes and center bulkhead. We now have upper bracing in the front and rear to improve the stiffness of the car. There is the option to remove a pivot ball, which is down in this area. And then you can actually click these plastic pieces in place of the pivot ball, and it really stiffens the car up.
We have 2 different options for the motor mount. So we have a option that sits further back. That's be good for dirt. More weight bias towards the back of the car for lower grip. And then we have an option, which is new, that's going to be pushing this further forward to get more weight bias on the front end for carpet.
This is a one-piece servo mount. So it mounts to the center of the chassis through the center bracing.
And then we go into the new steering rack geometry, which is pretty different from the B74 platforms. We moved to a much longer steering link compared to the previous gen car, and this allows us to have a much more consistent bump handling compared to the previous car. So going over bumps and jumps, it's a lot more consistent off the face, and changes how much toe it has a lot less than the old cars did. And then going forward, we have a new shock tower cover for carpet. It's pretty mandatory nowadays that we run covers on for carpet, and we wanted to include that in the kit for this release. And then looking at the outside of the front end, we have new caster blocks with adjustment similar to the two-wheel drive platform, the B7. So now the caster blocks have pill inserts that you can adjust. Besides that, we have the standard steering blocks off of the B74. So all the same steering plates and axle height adjustment is compatible with what you guys already have.
I think customers are going to like the part compatibility a lot. Like, just the fact that there's a lot more shared parts between the two, four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive.
I'm pretty excited for people to finally get their hands on this. Coming from the B7 and after that development, we were excited to put a lot of that into the four-wheel drive. We saw a lot of potential in the new direction we went with that car, and implementing it in the four-wheel drive was just another big step for us on this platform.
I'm proud to be a part of every four-wheel drive development product that we've ever produced as Team Associated, all the way back from the original B44 that Jason Rona brought over from the BJ4 through the B64 and on into the B74 platform. So it's pretty cool to see the full evolution of the Team Associated four-wheel drive cars from the very beginning and now to the latest and greatest revolutionary designs.
With a big window now to tune on and plenty of new options to go out from on the new car, I think you guys are gonna like it.
Super pumped for you guys to be able to get your hands on these things. It has a lot of similar characteristics to the B7 that we are all excited about.
I will try to defend my title in Australia this year, and I'm super excited to test the car and see how the car will go. So yeah, let's go racing and see what happens.
The versatility amongst the different surfaces is seriously pretty remarkable, and I'm looking forward to getting out there racing and enjoying some time. So thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and see you guys at the track.